girls, B-boys, superstar DJs. Here we go!
The Forza franchise has had a very common goal through all 4 versions, and that's to turn gamers into car lovers and car lovers into gamers. And that's a trite statement. The truth is it represents something that we take very seriously, and that is we actually want to make a difference. Make a difference in car culture, make a difference in gaming culture. Now there are bigger gaming franchises in the world. There are bigger car franchises in the world, such as Formula 1, NASCAR, you name it. And our goal is to actually make a difference. Well, once you start looking at that goal, and it's so ambitious, it's natural that you'd want to find a strong partner to build better capacity, to have more innovative ideas, to work together towards this greater good. And that's really what Forza Horizon was all about. First, it was about finding a partner. And that was actually more hard than you might think. Finding a partner that you would trust. They have to be culturally aligned with you. You have to feel like, you know, we've really built something here. These guys are not only going to do as well as us, they might even do better. They're going to come up with great ideas. And that was what was important in finding Playground Games. Since we first started working with them, they've actually built the team even greater. You know, it's been horrible seeing some of the decline in studios like BlackRock and Bizarre Creations. And I knew people that worked there, and it's horrible to see any studio close down. But it actually made Playground Games even stronger, because now they have people with 10 years of experience, 15 years of experience making racing games working on Forza Horizon. So there's a great history of racing game development in the UK and in Europe in general. Honestly, you look at Trackmania, which is developed in France, and when you look at the UK, you know, go back 20 years to Psygnosis, and Psygnosis dissolving away and becoming several splinter groups. There's just a great history. And some of it is, you know, making games is a little bit like a trade. It's like a craft. It's passed down from generation to generation, and then you learn the trade by making the games. The fact that there is that history, there are people that work in the UK or even don't work there anymore because they've retired. They made racing games, you know, 20 years ago. So that lineage, I think, allows the UK to have a very robust racing game development community. And while it's horrible seeing any studio close down, part of the ebb and flow, it seems to be, when you look at Psygnosis and the like, is that things dissolve and they reform. And, you know, it kills me because I know the people. And, you know, this is a personal business. Obviously, we're very passionate about what we make. And, you know, knowing people when they lose a job is awful. But when they can reform and reinvigorate their careers and get passionate about making a great title, that's fantastic. You know, and also, you know, Criterion is in the UK. There's just always been a great development community there. So, you know, developing a partner is tricky business, because when we've worked so hard, we have such a passionate team, and we have this clear vision of what we want to do. Of course, you want help. You know, having a comrade to help you do this ambitious vision of turning gamers into car lovers into gamers, making a difference in car culture and gaming culture. Having a partner makes perfect sense, but you got to trust them. You got to trust them with your future. And there'd be 2 ways to approach that. You know, we could either try and manage it, and in that way you're not trusting it. And I don't believe that could ever really work for us. Or we have to find the right partner that is going to add to us and we add to them, and we complement each other. And a lot of that comes down to cultural fit. So from the first time we met the Playground guys, that fit was there. They talked the same language we did. You know, they had the same sort of experiences making games. They had the same passion for our vision. They wanted to make a difference. And that made the working relationship so much better. But we didn't want to say, here's the game you should make. What we wanted to say is, here's our bigger vision. What would you do to forward that vision? And they came up with their own ideas. So are we still involved, trying to make it better? Absolutely. And I want them involved trying to make our next internal game better. But it's a partnership. Well, honestly, this was less of a tactic about splitting and more of a question of capacity and vision and where we want to grow the franchise. So we actually weren't looking at, hey, we need to cover this audience or cover this type of experience. We were looking at the larger vision we wanted to create and what they think, you know, Playground was looking to add to that overall vision. So, you know, it's hard to say it's analogous. I don't know why the decision was made on Dirt to go one way versus the other. I'm just not involved in that. I know for us, this was all about long-term, where we want to be. In many ways, every engine is very different, even if they're trying to accomplish similar goals, such as whether it's making a circuit racer or making a first-person shooter. It's just accomplished with different assumptions, sometimes based on the hardware, sometimes based on the business, sometimes based on the design. The real advantage we get is making racing games. There's a lot of things that are hard about it that people that don't do it don't understand. And there's a lot of things that are actually easy about it that people think, oh, that must be really hard. And those of us that have worked in racing games are like, that's the easy part. Having all this experience from Codemasters, from Bazaar, from BlackRock, from Slightly Mad, it's less about the actual code they bring and more about that shared understanding of what's easy and what's hard, how we're actually going to build a team, how we sync our culture, how we actually schedule our work and check in with each other, how we communicate. That's really where having a mature racing studio and people from a mature racing studio helps a lot. Forza Horizon will be coming out this fall, 2012.